I'm Diana Morin, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and a licensed professional counselor. I've been working with women for almost 30 years and men, doing marriage counseling, individual counseling. One of the things that has affected my life a lot is working with women. I just have always had a heart for women, and so a lot of my ministry has been devoted to working with women who have had crisis in their life, whether it's been through rape or whether it's been through unplanned pregnancy, or in many cases where it's gone on and been an abortion. Let me introduce to you Lisa Morin. She's my daughter. And Lisa, would you like to tell a little bit about yourself?
I am also a licensed professional counselor, and I have devoted my time as a counselor for the last 4 years or so, working with women and with young girls in crisis also. So I have a lot of experience kind of knowing the heart of a woman and where she's coming from, and what might lead her to choose abortion. And then I've also done a lot of sidewalk counseling in the past, and then helped out with Rachel's Vineyard retreats, as my mother has also, as well.
I think our experience has taught us that there are 3 different types of women we see going into the abortion clinic, maybe the kind of women that you all will meet. The first group are women who really feel trapped. They don't feel any other option other than to seek an abortion. They've already been told, I think, that their parents will abandon them or disown them because of the embarrassment to the family. Or they have a boyfriend or a husband that says, we can't handle one more baby, or I don't want to be a father and I'm out of here if you have it. So that's the first woman that we see.
And so at that time that they're going to get the abortion, they're thinking that they're preserving their life. And so and almost maybe even in a sacrificial type of way of like, I don't want to do this, but I have to. I have no other choice. And so a lot of times these women, can be really difficult to get through to because they have total tunnel vision and they're in survival mode where they feel like this is the only option. There's nothing else. And if they stopped and thought about it for a minute, they probably would make a different choice, but they feel like they have to do this. So there's no good in, stopping and feeling the pain of what this would be like. So it can be a really, really difficult thing. How do you think that we should talk to these kinds of women?
Well, I think tunnel vision is a really good word that you use. In the tunnel vision, they really can be distracted enough to hear somebody say, I care, I see that you're hurting, and I have solutions. We can help you. Sometimes it's okay to say, most men will leave the woman who is pregnant even after the abortion. I think the rate is 70-80% of the men still leave after the abortion. So it really doesn't preserve the relationship. So being able to offer hope through offering suggestions on how they could live and the solutions that they might have available to them or through the pro-life community in order to help them.
Mm-hmm. So saying to them, this is not your only option. We really can help you. But you have to probably be pretty brief and clear, right? Because they're going to be like tunnel vision, just shooting into the clinic, and they don't want to think about what they're doing because they know they'll probably make a different choice if they thought about what they wanted.
I think that's true. Do you want to address the second group of women?
The second group would be maybe a younger generation of women, young girls or women that are just stuck in kind of a self-destructive life pattern where maybe they've gone through a lot of trauma in their life. Maybe they, never really attached to anybody, just feel very alone in the world. And so they kind of like, cutting, they want to punish themselves and they want to feel that pain. And they're just going to do anything and everything they can to continue to feel that pain. So maybe, abusing drugs and alcohol or, getting tattoos over and over. And so the abortion is kind of another way to punish themselves. And it, a lot of times women get in this position because, they want to feel loved and want to attach to somebody. So they might, use sex as a way to keep trying to attach to somebody, but it just becomes self-destructive. So for those kind of women or girls, they're probably going to be very angry and mad about almost anything that you say because they just want to hurt themselves. And this is just, a trauma for them that they want to keep replaying. So it's important, to say to them, your life is precious and I can help you. I think that would be really good. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think that's a beautiful statement to them, is your life is precious, and we are here to help you again, and we will walk the journey with you. And so being able to show that through the eye contact, because they're rejecting, they're angry. And so the first thing you want to do is pull away, look away, and get out of the uncomfortable setting. But it's good to know that woman is hurting. She doesn't even give herself permission to have life. She can't even consider the life of this child. But if you direct everything towards her and that we care about you, you are important, I think that speaks volumes. And then being able to take them to a place and hear their anger, because they're going to have it, but be calm in that anger, and usually it softens and they just want to be held or loved or cared for or taken somewhere. I think the third group of women that we see now are being having suggested an abortion because they're in a pregnancy that could be complicated. Either the doctor feels that the baby is not developing properly and possibly will not live, or that the mother, is not healthy enough due to diabetes or whatever to carry the child. So these are abortions where many times the women already have children, and now they're being asked to abort this child. Many times the husband comes with them. You'll see them walking arm in arm in rather a caring way for each other. The husband is thinking he's preserving his wife by keeping the suffering away, going ahead and removing the suffering, which is the child. The wife just thinks she's trying to preserve her family and her life, but mostly to listen to her healthcare professional, somebody that she's been taught to trust and to allow to have part of her life. So I think these couples or this individual is pretty easy to talk to. It doesn't take much to express to them that there are other options, and that if a baby is not viable, it will naturally miscarry on its own, and that there is help. And even if there's a loss of a baby after birth, that is so much easier to heal from than having known that you've actually taken the life of a child.
I think in a lot of times, since women are getting pregnant older in life now, that there are, lots of pregnancies where they say, your child is going to have special needs, and they, feel like they can't handle that, and the doctor wants to protect them from having to deal with that anxiety and that stress, and your child's not going to have a good life. But a lot of times, we don't know 100%, if that kid is going to have special needs, and they still, they still have to heal from that traumatic experience of the abortion, whereas, having a child with special needs, is a lot better of, a route to take and more joyful and loving than it would be to take the life of your own child, especially if you already have a mother's heart.
Right.